Thank you, Mr. President. America is long overdue for a return to common sense. A revival is in order. And it's time our party steps up to claim the empty seat that the Republicans left vacant on the common sense train the moment Elon Musk stepped foot in the Oval Office. So let's talk about common sense. There is a long list of medical procedures that incarcerated individuals in Georgia do not receive, procedures that taxpayers do not cover: breast augmentation, liposuction, rhinoplasty, hair transplants, fertility treatments, gastric bypass, LASIK eye surgery, and even erectile dysfunction medication. If you are a prisoner in Georgia and you want any of these elective procedures, in other words, procedures that are not deemed medically necessary under the standards that govern prison health care, the state will not provide them, nor should it. This bill does not cut a single dollar from the state budget. Not one tax dollar in Georgia has ever been spent on sex change surgeries for inmates. So let's not pretend this is about fiscal responsibility. This bill simply makes explicit what is already the practice in Georgia. And yet here we are debating this as if it were some looming crisis, as if Georgia's prisons were on the verge of becoming gender-affirming care centers at the taxpayer's expense. Let me be clear, that is not the reality here in Georgia. That is not happening. There is no policy urgency on this issue. And I believe it is a complete disservice to the people we are elected to represent to pretend otherwise. But I am also a pragmatist. And the simple truth is that I cannot, in good conscience, support taxpayer-funded medical procedures for prisoners that we do not provide to law-abiding citizens who are struggling every day to afford basic health care. Because here's what I do know. If you are a woman in Georgia, cisgender or transgender, who cannot afford a necessary medical procedure, this state will not step in to help you. If you are a child in Georgia who needs mental health care, your family may be forced to wait months, even years, for treatment. If you are a pregnant woman in Georgia facing complications and need emergency care, you might have to drive hours to receive life-saving care, because we still have one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the country and hospitals that have closed or are on the verge of closing. We have a child care crisis, an affordable housing crisis, and a wage gap that punishes women at every stage of their lives. You can thank 23 years of Republican leadership for that, but that is the reality we are living in. And until we fix that, I cannot stand on this floor and say that incarcerated individuals who've wreaked havoc in the streets of Georgia should have access to procedures that struggling Georgians outside of prison do not. That is not fairness, and that is not justice. Now, let me be absolutely clear. My vote today does not change my commitment to the LGBTQ+ community. I believe that transgender people deserve full dignity, respect, and equal protection under the law. I will fight against discrimination in housing, in employment, and in healthcare. I will fight for protections that ensure transgender people in Georgia can live their lives safely and freely. And I will fight back against real attacks on LGBTQ+ rights, because those are the fights that matter. But I will not let my party be dragged into an argument that makes us look out of touch with the very people we claim to represent. My job is not to follow the loudest voices. My job is to lead with reason, with fairness, and with an unwavering commitment to the issues that actually improve the lives of the people I serve. That is what I've done since my first day at the Capitol. That is what I'm doing today. And that is what I will continue to do into the future. And no one, not the far right, not the far left, and certainly not the people who prefer outrage over solutions, will tell me otherwise. America is calling for a return to common sense, and I intend to answer that call. not by abandoning my values, but by standing firm in them. Thank you, Mr. President. Unless there are questions, I yield the well.
Yeah, no questions, Senator.
Thank you.